Collinwood in 1840, a house filled with tensions. For though Quentin's defense in his trial for witchcraft has scored an important victory with the appearance of the long-thought-dead Joanna Mills, Joanna brings many new problems. For Samantha is convinced that she killed Joanna not 7 months before, and Daphne suddenly finds herself in a strange triangle, knowing that Joanna loves Quentin. Meanwhile, Daphne's fascination with Gerard keeps increasing against her will. This night, she has had a dream she cannot remember, but which makes her go to a mysterious room.
You look as though you have something on your mind, Daphne. Well, it is time for a decision. A very important decision for the both of us. Daphne, will you marry me?
Marry you?
I've loved you from the first time I saw you. The day Quentin brought you in and introduced me to you as your governess. You see, I'm not afraid to mention his name, Daphne. But you don't want to hear it, do you? But tell me how you feel.
Afraid?
Yes. Afraid to say yes. Afraid of the proposal.
You know me so well.
So very well.
Better than anyone else, I sometimes think.
But isn't that what love is, Daphne? Isn't it? When two people know one another so very well. I know that you're upset about Joanna's return.
I'm glad my sister's alive.
Are you? Of course you are. However, that does change things around, doesn't it? Although you're not willing to admit it right now, that your life is changing, isn't it? Quentin used to mention Joanna quite a lot aboard ship.
Quentin and Joanna had broken up long before that trip.
Of course they did. But he still couldn't get her out of his mind. He could never forget about her. Does Joanna still love Quentin, Daphne?
I don't know.
Are you sure you don't?
Gerard, I haven't had a chance to think it out.
Well, this is the time, isn't it? You see, you are depending on me. And that's the way it should be. Daphne, you must marry me. I will show you new worlds, worlds that you've never seen before. Wondrous new lands. Oh, I know it sounds a little fascinating for you, doesn't it? You will admit that, at least. And under that fascination, you know something is missing. Something that does exist. Love. And it's time, Daphne, you learned about it.
Well, isn't there something you should be doing, Miss Harridge? Instead of looking around the house?
You will remember what I told you.
Yes. So this is where the lovers meet.
What a suspicious woman you are, Samantha. I merely come here because I want quiet and peace and a little chance to think. You see, she had no idea I was here. She was rather shocked at Joanna's return, so I thought perhaps I could help
You're
her.
so concerned about her. You can't let any woman alone, can you? Advising her, helping her with her problems. What about me?
Oh, now, Samantha.
Now, Samantha, that's the sympathy I get. That's the understanding that you give me. Don't you understand a woman has come back from the dead to kill me?
You're wrong, my dear. She's very much alive.
If she is, she'll remember that I tried to kill her. Why does she act as if she doesn't know me, Gerard? Why? You're such a big help to Daphne. Why don't you help me?
Samantha.
That woman is going to kill me.
Samantha, you're becoming hysterical
You
again.
don't care, do you? You'd like it if she killed me because you no longer have any use for me.
If you'll excuse me.
When you found out that I was impersonating Joanna and writing those letters and leaving them, you had plenty of use for me then, didn't you? I was so weak to give in to you, to forgive you your cruelties. You said you loved me.
And I can still say it.
But you don't mean it, do you? You don't mean it. You cannot get rid of me so easily this time. You can't push me away. I know too much about you. I can go to Quentin now.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
I can go to Barnabas.
No.
I know so much about you.
Come
Let
here.
go of me.
Stop it.
Let go of me. I'll tell them all. I'll go to the court and I'll tell them everything. You're going to be sorry. You'll be sorry. Oh! You.
I'm sorry, Samantha.
So it's come to this. You don't even have to pretend now.
You
do
became hysterical again.
You don't have to be nice to me now.
I will be nice to you, my dear, if you would let me.
Let you? All I want is to feel you beside me, to know that I can count on you.
If that's all you want, Samantha, I'll be by your side. But you must forget these jealousies that you have, these little scenes that you cause.
What am I going to do, Gerard?
The first thing you must do is realize that you don't know all my plans. I have reasons for everything I do, Samantha. I had a reason why Daphne was in this room.
Don't you think I know that?
There you go again. My reasons aren't exactly like yours.
What are your reasons?
Do you think I would tell you? After the threats that you made to me, your threats are not particularly conducive to confidence.
I won't tell Barnabas.
And after the trial is over, all the games will be over.
Will they be?
Of course.
Or will there be new games, Gerard? And what about Joanna? What am I going to do about Joanna?
I'll take care of her.
Will you?
Of course. Now run along. I want some time to think.
Will you come to me tonight?
If I can.
Why did I have to fall in love with you?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not Joanna I must think about. It's you, Samantha. You're the problem that will have to be solved.
Daphne showed me one of the notes she's been receiving. I don't know. It wasn't in my handwriting, so I don't know if it was mine. I didn't write it. What do you know could have done it, Quentin?
What if I do? I couldn't prove it. At least not now.
We must find out. We. I said we. For so long now, I've only said I must do this and I must do that. But now that I'm with you, I said we.
Joanna.
Quentin?
Yes.
Did you see this?
What? Oh,
I've been wearing it in the hospital. Everything else is gone. It just disappeared. Do you know when you gave it to me?
yes. Yes, I remember.
It was at my birthday. You said, next year, at my next birthday, I would be Mrs. Quentin Collins. I would be living at Collinwood. Next year, everything would be different.
Yeah.
Darling, you don't mind me saying these things, do you? I've learned to appreciate the good times.
Joanna, do you remember all of the bad times?
Yes.
You remember the night, shortly after your birthday, when I told you that Samantha wouldn't give me a divorce? Remember what happened to us after that?
But all the fighting, it was my fault.
No, it wasn't.
Darling, the fighting was just to hold us together. I was
Now
trying...
listen to me. We simply realized that whatever we had between each other was gone.
It only seems so.
You agreed when it happened, when we broke up.
I didn't mean for it to be forever.
When we separated, you said that you didn't love me anymore.
But I only said that because you wanted me to say it. Because you didn't feel you loved me anymore. Do you think it's right that we're separated now? You can tell me, Quentin. I won't go to pieces. I'm strong now.
Yes. I think it's right that we're separated.
You're in love again? With someone else? Who, Quentin? Tell me who.
I'm in love with Daphne.
My darling Quentin. Of course. She's so much like what I was.
But I love her now.
Does she love you?
Yes. Listen. I thank you very much for coming here. I thank you very much for testifying for me. Because if I'm freed, it's only going to be because of you. But I think it's best that you leave Collinsport now.
Now? You want me to leave now? Quentin. You haven't forgotten me. You can say you have.
No! No, I haven't forgotten.
I cannot leave now.
I'm very sorry if I upset you by being in that wing of the house.
You always upset me, Miss Harrod. You know that. Your loyalty is not to Tad and me. It's to my husband, isn't it?
I'm sorry you feel that way, Mrs. Collins.
You could make me feel much better, you know,
How?
by being honest with me for once. What did your sister Joanna say about me? What?
My sister said nothing about you, Mrs. Collins.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. I don't understand. You were never mentioned. Though you may be interested in knowing that I showed her one of those letters that her ghost had supposedly left for me. Joanna never wrote it.
I can't understand what's happening in this house.
Mrs. Collins, I've been honest with you. Would you kindly be the same with me? Some time ago, I thought the ghost of Joanna Mills was coming for me. I was in this room. Do you remember that? You were looking over my shoulder, and you screamed. You said you'd seen the spirit.
I testified to that effect in court, yes.
Yes, but my sister is very much alive, Mrs. Collins. Are you sure you saw anyone at all?
What are you accusing me of? You saw the ghost yourself after the seance you had with my husband.
I saw a figure, that is all. And I think it was a very real person. A person who was intent on frightening me from this house.
You think it was I?
I don't know.
Well, you'll have to blame someone else, Miss Harridge. I am not responsible. Daphne thinks that I left those letters. She suspects me.
Well, I'll take care of it, my dear.
You had better.
Arguing with the lady of the house again.
Gerard, I'm beginning to think she's dangerous.
Oh, well, I'll protect you. Let me protect you.
Oh, please, Gerard. I need time to think.
You need help, Daphne. Yes, you do. Help in making up your mind.
Why is it that I feel peace only in this room? Only here.
Sleep, Daphne. Sleep, and in your dreams you will see what trouble you have been and the problems you have caused. And this time in your dreams, you will remember.
My Joanna's come back to me. I didn't think I'd see you again.
You've forgotten me.
No.
As if time hasn't passed. As if we were back in our cottage. But we can't be together again.
Well, we've got to be. Got to be. You think that I could have ever loved anyone knowing that you were alive? When I came back from sea, the first thing I wanted to do was to find you again. Do you love me?
Yes.
As much as I love you?
Yes, yes.
No. Oh, Joanna. What am I going to do? Oh, Joanna.
When I think of Quentin in that cell, something went wrong with both our lives, Quentin and I.
When, Joanna?
There comes a moment when one loses control of one's own life. When, try as you might, it seems impossible to grab hold again.
When you and Quentin were separated?
Yes, it was the same for him.
Is it, Joanna?
His life has not been in his own hands since then either. If only he gets free, perhaps then he can get the reins again.
You still love him very much, don't you?
Yes. I think one can only really love once.
Miss Mills, I did not expect to see you here.
I came to see my sister, Mrs. Collins.
Miss Harridge, will you excuse us?
Yes, of course.
We met before yesterday, you know.
Oh? My memory hasn't been so good since I've been from the hospital.
You took a concert with my brother Randall.
Yes?
Yes, he took you to a concert in the village. I remember, but we have seen each other since then, haven't we?
Not that I know of.
I don't want you to come to this house again. Your presence is not appreciated.
Well, then I shall make appointments to see my sister in the village.
Yes, please do.
We shall meet each other again, Mrs. Collins.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, I mean, the village is very small. We're bound to see each other. Good night, Mrs. Collins.
You look like a little girl, all intense, as if you're about to solve a problem.
Quentin, I can't see you anymore.
What?
There, I've said it. I didn't know how I would, but I had to. Please don't, Quentin. She loves you. Joanna loves you very much.
Joanna and I were through before we went to sea, before
No.
I went to sea, and you know it.
No, you weren't.
Are you telling me what I feel?
You would still feel the same way if it wasn't for me. I should never have come to Collinsport, and I should never have come to work for you.
If you hadn't have, I would have regretted it for the rest of my life.
Oh, Quentin, don't talk like that. I can't listen to it.
Joanna's going to be all right.
No. No, she won't be ever again without you.
Are you willing to sacrifice us to prove that?
I don't feel the same way about you any longer, Quentin.
What?
I don't. I'm sorry. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Wait till I get out of jail.
No. No, that won't change what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to marry Gerard Stiles.